Live from beautiful Ohio, it's the OK Boomer podcast, featuring siblings, the real Jean and Laura.
Hello, hello. I'm Jean.
And I am Laura. And we're here to encourage all you boomers, millennials, and everyone to be happily okay together.
Now, I'm whispering to all my friends here. I'm whispering because we've had a slight technical difficulty. I think we've overcome it, but I'm just letting you know that Laura lost her envelope. This was an envelope that had all her show notes on it, so we had a little tizzy and flurry of looking for the envelope, which we didn't find, but I thought we could rally and continue on with the podcast. So here we go. Thanks, friends. Well, Laura, you ready to hear about my week?
I am ready. Yes, hopefully it was a good one.
It was. One thing I did was I read the book Dune.
Oh, okay. I've heard of it, I think.
You may have heard of it because it was a recent movie. And that's why I was going to read the book, because my older millennial son had gone to see the movie, and I wanted to discuss it with him.
Oh, yes, relating to our millennials.
Yes, and I thought I'll read the book, and that'll be something I could share with him. So I did 900 pages. Ooh, some were interesting pages, some were exciting, some not so much, a little odd.
900, wow.
So the next time he called me, I said, I read Dune, and I want to hear what you thought about the movie and tell me. Well, then it turned out he didn't like the movie really at all.
Oh, jeez. After you read 900 pages.
We still talked about it, but it lost that little real feeling
that
of
magical connection.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Right. Well, I had an idea earlier this week. A thought came into my mind. And I wrote it down. Actually, I texted it to myself because I realized if I don't keep track of these ideas,
they're gone.
They're really gone. You could write them on an envelope and they're still gone.
It's so frustrating. Yes.
So I had this thought, which was, what if you could watch yourself on some of the CCTV recordings, the closed circuit recordings? Because we were watching a detective show, which though they feature that all the time now, right?
I guess.
Yeah, they do. That's what they're
shows, but sure. You mean like the little? Is this the same type of thing? Every once in a while, you get a glimpse of yourself in the drugstore, and you look up.
I suppose, or they have the cameras just everywhere.
Maybe it's mirrors I'm looking at. Continue, Jean. Just continue.
Yes. So I just had to read. It'd be funny to see yourself like browsing slowly through the produce, getting your cart in the way of other people, maybe looking a little huffy when somebody isn't moving away from the bananas, maybe.
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, I hope I don't look like, no offense, there was a gal at the Giant Eagle the other day, and she just was clogging up the whole lane, would not pick out her darn instant pudding. How hard could it be? I hope I'm not one of those people.
Right. That'd just be fun. And maybe that's what happens when you go to heaven. Like, you get to watch, like, the video of your whole life. That would be fun. We'll find out what happened to your envelope.
My envelope. So many things, yes, in heaven we'll be able to know. That's where I put it. That's where I lost it.
Yes. Actually, my ONH and I talk about that every so often because, remember, a long time ago, he somehow lost your car keys?
Yes.
You were very nice about it because, really, that was annoying. And what happened to them? I hope we find out.
Yes, we'll know. And yes, there's another car key story that some of our listeners may know about, but we'll let it go. We'll let it slide this time.
Oh, all right, but write it down so we can talk about it.
Yeah, no, I'll probably let it go, but all's well that ends well. Car key story.
Is this something with you? Or
not really. Slight involvement, but not really. Continuing on.
Well, speaking about involvements and calamities, which maybe you were leading up to.
Not me ever.
Right. Our friend Beth Ann.
Yes, we like Beth Ann.
Right, down in North Carolina where they had a lot of snow too.
Yeah.
She posted on Facebook, and I did warn her in my comment to her that, I do have a podcast back there. So I feel I have to share this with you.
All right.
This
she
is
was
what
fine
she
with
wrote.
it.
Well, I hope so, but it's pretty
Too
funny.
late now.
So she posted a few days ago. She starts off.
Yeah.
Lessons learned today. Never wear a scarf when using a vacuum.
Yeah.
And never underestimate the drain on a car battery on auxiliary while you wait for grocery pickup. You are welcome. So to the first part.
Yes.
I suppose the scarf got snatched off her.
And she was probably being choked. Now, this brings about a very serious story that ended in tragedy.
Yes.
Not to be a downer on our podcast, but do you remember Isadora Duncan?
I do, and actually, yes, people brought that up finally.
Yes, and
right.
I think I was a small child when I watched this movie. Why Mom let us see it?
What movie was that, by the way? I can't remember, but at the end, she's so happily driving along she's riding.
In France. She's in Nice, France, I believe. Nice Nice, whatever.
Happily smiling in a convertible, right?
In a convertible, life is great. Her hair is she's got this gorgeous scarf wrapped around her, and whomp, it gets caught up in the undercarriage of the car or something, and she choked it up.
Right.
I mean, so yeah, Isadora Duncan and scarves go together. So anyway,
so be careful with.
Thank you. Yeah.
With scarves, and the car battery is too bad. Maybe she was even. What if she were listening to our podcast as she waited? Something?
And then it was just
that's too
we're
bad.
sorry about that. But thanks for listening.
So that was my week, and you had a week too, I imagine.
I did. It's my normal, wonderful life that I lead, and I do. First off, I went to a fabulous baby shower for actually one of our listeners.
Oh!
She listens so faithfully, and it's so much fun because whenever we get together, she doesn't live too far by. She'll so sweetly say things like, "Oh, I know, I hear it on the podcast, so I don't need to repeat my life to her." But anyway, she is just an amazing gal, school teacher, and she is due very soon, I think in February, so we're thinking about her. So anyway, I'm happily driving to the shower, and there was a bit of snow on the ground, not our big snowstorm we were going to get. But I'm driving along, and I'm thinking, because, the darn COVID, my mind is kind of on, I'm going to be in an enclosed room, and should I be doing this, blah, 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 but I love her, and I wanted to go. And I happened to spot my fabulous KN95 Niosh super wonderful mask is on the floor.
Oh.
So I'm very excited that I found my best mask ever, and now I'm feeling confident to go wearing this mask.
Even though it's on the floor.
It was on the floor. And I'm sort of reaching for it, and then thought, I better watch the road. And I pull into the driveway, and I'm just so thrilled I have this mask, and it's in my hand so I don't forget it. And I'm tramping up the driveway, and I'm ringing the doorbell, and with panic I realize I'm not at the right house.
Oh!
This is my daughter's house that I probably drive to.
Oh, no, I have to clarify. They all look alike. She lives in a lovely
she does
condo
live
area.
In a condo, but still, I have gone here every day for over a year now. Yeah, so I embarrassingly didn't want to be caught, so I'm scampering back with my mask in hand, though. Scampering back to my car, because I didn't want these poor people on a Saturday morning to have to come running to the door. And for me to embarrassingly say, I'm sorry, I should be next door. So I pull into the correct driveway.
Good.
Now I'm feeling like I'm running a tad late. Quickly slam my car door, and there you go. Slammed my car door with my hand in it.
Oh,
Lord. So now it's bleeding. I'm coming to the front door, and my daughter, at least I was at the right house now, is just kind of like, are you all right? No, clearly I wasn't. Having a hard time. But
it started off so well.
It started off with such promise. But the shower was great. We got to the shower. It was fantastic.
Is there any kind of lesson from this?
I doubt it.
This is your life.
It's just my life. There were no fires, so I felt good. All right.
Did it hurt? I mean, does your hand
hurt
still
like
hurt?
HD double toothpicks. Yeah, it was a little swollen
It's
for a
still
while.
very swollen. No, you broke you're
I
so
probably
brave.
broke my bones, but whatever. Life goes on. Find the joy. All righty. So then I decided, this is days later, I did another first. Something I did for the first time in my life.
Oh my.
I know. I'm so, young people do this. I didn't know if I could, but I tried it. I did a reel.
Oh, and
Not the Virginia
I
reel.
won't joke about that again.
A reel on Instagram. Now, I wanted to try, because I don't know if you've seen, Jean, these perfect eye filters. And they show, I mean, just hundreds of them. You should swipe it, whatever you call it. And it shows these young girls, their eyes are closed, and then they open them up and they have the perfect eye that this filter has picked for you.
And perfect in what way? What is it changing?
It's
what
usually
is
like
it?
the color, the perfect color that you should have with your skin and hair and all that kind of stuff, I guess. All right. So it's kind of fun to see all these young people, and it's like, oh, does that look better or not? No, I mean, it's mindless waste of time. But young people do this. So I wanted to feel young. So I tried it. Now, first off, I couldn't get into the perfect eye filter. I was stuck in the background filter. And I kept having like this restaurant show up as my background. I didn't want that.
No.
Finally figured that out, and somehow I managed to get not only a filter, but a post, I think. I don't know. It's out there. It's not great. I didn't do the closing eyes and opening them up because then I couldn't see what I was doing.
Good thinking for you. I would say yes.
So listeners, I'm on Instagram in a I don't know how long the reel lasts. Maybe it lasts 24 hours. I mean, it's long gone, I'm sure. I don't know.
I probably missed it.
But I'm so excited.
Oh, you should have told me. I'm sorry. I wanted to see it.
I should have texted him.
What were your perfect eye colors?
Oh, it was like, I normally have green, and it was kind of...
Normally that is your eye color. Yes.
On most days, I wake up with green eyes.
Yes.
But it was gorgeous. It was like this bluey green. It might be my perfect eye color. So I showed it to the OH, and he was like, oh, maybe you can get contacts that color.
Right. Oh.
Yeah. And so, you sort of want him to say, oh, honey, your regular eyes are so much better. But nope, he was...
Well, and you do know, we may have talked about this, that only 2% of people in the world have green eyes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Which is still a lot of people, because 2%.
98% don't.
Right.
Wow, I did forget about that.
Yeah.
That kind of gives
So you can't change them.
It gives me a little bit more pleasure to know that.
What else is going on? That was fascinating.
Yes, wasn't it, though? All right, I have to give a shout-out to OH.
I-O.
Yes, thank you.
OHIO.
I didn't know if you were going to chime in with that. OHIO, Ohio. First off, again, trying to stay current. I can only tolerate it for so long, maybe 15 minutes, but I listen to KISS FM out of Los Angeles.
You are in the, yes. You said
I think it's Ryan Seacrest in the morning. I just feel like, oh, Laura, you are pretty snappy listening to this.
Yes.
Always feeling very proud of myself. And they mentioned Ohio because we've had so many COVID cases, and hopefully by the time this comes out, it's a little less, but so many that they couldn't get cafeteria workers. So, Independence High School near Cleveland, Ohio, not far from us.
Right, close to you.
Close to me, 15 minutes away. So generously ordered pizzas the night before for the entire school.
Oh, that was
so
nice.
So the cafeteria workers, because they didn't have enough, so they made sure that their students had lunch. And Romito's, I think that's how you say it, pizza, they called them the night before, and they all came in during the night to start making pizzas.
Oh, that was really nice. Oh,
I know.
That was really, very good.
Kudos
well done.
to Romito's Pizza and Independent High School. And then, of course, we always have celebrities from Ohio.
Yes.
Originally from Ohio. I mean, come on. They have you and I. Mm-hmm. So, on Jeopardy, and again, we do these ahead of time, so she may not still be on, but she's been on since way before Christmas, I believe. Amy Schneider she just keeps winning every night. She's a beast. and way over $1 million now. I think she's in the top 4 Jeopardy players everywhere, and she's originally from Dayton, Ohio. And our Matt Emilio, who we talked about before, was from Medina, right where
here.
you live.
Yes, same high school my boys went to. Not very different in age. Yes.
Right. It could have been your boys. So, go Ohio.
OHIO. Yeah, well, you have lots of good news. What else is going on? You have more things going on.
I would have had more, but I can't find the
envelope. Yes.
Yeah. So, maybe it'll click into my brain. I don't know. That's all I have for now. Did you do your Wordle for the day?
We're still doing Wordle, aren't we?
Yes. Listeners, if you haven't jumped on this bandwagon, do it. It's so much fun. Every day a new one. It's just so much fun.
And it's fun to discuss it with your spouse or whoever you want to discuss it with. It's fun to...
Yes, we call each other at night or text each other and say, how did you get it? Like the other
we'll
day.
Send screenshots of our...
Yes.
It's kind of scary when you press it because you want it to...
You want it to be correct because that's it, one a day. But
yeah, but that's good for us.
It's very good for our little boomer
Well,
brains.
and I think this is helping us. Games like this, and we've kind of mentioned this before, do help us to be our best selves, which is what I've been pondering for the last couple podcasts. And I promise, Laura, I just need to discuss it all one more time, and then I can move on from my positive boomer living thoughts.
Can you really? I feel like this will come up again, but I'm very okay with us talking about it.
Well, all right, I'm going to start from this point this time, because we do want to be positive, especially one thing about getting older is, you're getting older. Who knows what's going to happen in the future?
I know.
So,
who is the guy? Matt, say no. I don't remember. The guy that just passed away at age 65.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
Right. I he texted that morning at 3 a.m, and then...
So happy, and then boom.
And it could be illness. It could be many things, which we're thankful for. So that's one reason to try to live a healthy life, a healthy, positive life. I think that all helps.
Yes.
So I was thinking, how could I do this better? And what came into my mind was, when we were young, I think we were raised more along this idea of, remember the good, better, best, never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best.
Yes, we were raised with that.
Right. Always keep trying. You can do your best. Try to be the top one. I don't know now. I have a feeling right now that's changed. And you're going to share a little bit more about that too in a minute. Because I think, what'd you say, Valerie Bertinelli?
Yes, I was going to talk a little bit about her book.
Right. So we'll get to that. I just want to process this thought. So we were raised with the good, better, best, striving.
Yes, always try to be the best in the class, the best in the spelling bee, the best. You should always be the best.
Yes, is that right? Then I've heard a more recent way of looking at things, which was like, you are enough. You are enough. I just did not get that at all, because that sounds to me like you're not even good. Yeah, right. You're settling. You're good, but you're certainly not the better best.
No, we all wanted to be. We were raised to be the better best. You are enough.
Yeah.
It did have a little bit of a negative.
You're good enough. It's okay. You're
all right.
That's not for us, is it?
No.
Then I keep my eyes open for those articles on how to be positive, how to live your best life. Those attract me. I click on those. This finally made sense to me. The idea of be content. Be content.
Explain.
Right. Knowing that many things can happen in your day, or you can do many things, and they may not turn out to be your best. They may not. But is it enough that you can be content with it, that you can feel like, I'm at peace. I don't need to get down on myself for it. Example. I'll give you an example.
Please do, because I'm not sure I quite have it.
Right. I think it's a little different than you're enough. is more just taking your day and being content with it. So, like I said, here's an example. See if this works. You worked hard over the holidays. I know you had a very good time. You had lots of friends and family in. You cooked a lot of big holiday meals. And I don't really know the answer to this, but was every dish in your holiday spread like perfect?
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't. I mean, but it all tasted good, but was everything perfect? Probably not.
Or can you remember thinking, I should have taken that out of the oven a little sooner?
Yeah, I think so. I think I put too much butter, like in the macaroni and cheese. Seemed a little oily to me.
Oh.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. I mean, we all ate it. And...
But you all had a really... So instead of like having that, which might have happened to me a few years back, of just thinking over and over, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I take it out of the oven sooner? Why didn't I should have known that couldn't sit outside for a while or whatever. Just be content with it. Did everybody have a good time?
Yes.
Did you have fun? Did you feel good at the end of the day?
I did.
And you enjoyed yourself? Just be content.
I like that. Be content in your circumstances.
Right. Now, in addition, I am continuing to try to focus on the healthy diet. Not dieting, healthy eating.
Okay.
Adding lots of fruits and veggies. I've had fun with that.
Oh, good for you.
Keeping up with the old exercise.
Yes.
And now I want to hear your thoughts, and then I promise I'm going to think about wellness, but I won't make you listen to me drone on and on.
About all your wellness tips and this and that.
Yeah.
Although fit, did you know that fit? Because when I think of wellness, I think of being physically fit.
Right.
Apparently, the young people, which were not so young, use fit as a short word for like their outfit.
How so?
I really like a great fit for you. And I think if I heard that, I would think, they think I'm physically fit. No. It's that they have a cool outfit on. Good fit. So if somebody walks up to you and says good fit, they probably mean you're
looking good. Good look. It's not even talking about that your clothes fit you.
No, it's just a cool outfit.
Good.
So your maroon turtleneck is good, and I'm wearing maroon too.
We
tend to do this. Well, when you had mentioned
this need to go on and on about health and wellness.
Yes, but it's always just such a fun topic. I could go on forever, but I saw Valerie Bertinelli the other day. Well, not in person.
At the grocery store?
At the grocery store under the closed-circuit TV.
Picking out her pudding.
Yeah, she was actually the person in the pudding. Right. She was on the Today Show or something, and she just recently wrote a book called Enough Already, Learning to Love the Way I Am. And I thought, and she's a boomer. This is what's nice.
She is a boomer, yes.
She's almost exactly my age. I think she turns my age in a few months or something. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I can relate to somebody who's my age. Anyway, she wrote this book, Enough Already. Now, the title is kind of fun because throughout her book, I've not read it. Of course, I haven't read it. I can barely...
Right.
Can barely read text.
Our resident book reviewer here, right?
You could read it as Enough Already, which I think part of her book does have that slant of, I'm tired of counting every calorie. I'm tired of looking and feeling like I'm fat and that I'm not good enough unless I'm this certain weight.
And my jeans look my bottom looks too big in my jeans.
Right. Yeah. She showed a picture of herself at 15, and she looks picture perfect. I mean, she's absolutely stunning, but she said she remembers being 15 and thinking that her hips were too big. And so even then, being young and fabulous, she was still feeling like she wasn't.
And everybody loved her on, was that when she was on, what show was she on?
Family? No. Oh, that's terrible. We don't know.
We do know.
But we do know.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Yes. And she was 15 on that show. So, I mean, we loved her. We thought she was enough. So that could be one. Or you could think of it as enough already. I am already enough. That I am who I am today is fine.
And I can be content with that.
And I can be content. Which then brings me back to, I had a wonderful Bible study leader when I was going through rough times in my earlier ages.
Yes.
Yes. And she was so instrumental. And a verse that she would pull out many times was from, may I share a Bible verse? John 15:11, joy. I have told you that so my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete.
Okay.
So we are looking for joy in the journey. Joy comes from God. Now this is a concept that's a little tricky to explain to people, especially when you are very unhappy. It's hard. You think you can't find joy.
Mm-hmm.
But happiness and joy are very different. Happiness changes. And they gave an example, which I thought was interesting.
All right.
Picture your little child, your 1-year-old child.
Okay.
You obviously love them. Your child brings you joy, true inner joy to love this child.
Right, and the joy of being a mom. And
right,
just, yes.
and just the joy of the love that you feel. Well, the same child brings you happiness. They're cute. They're like my little grandson running around singing the alphabet song in circles. And I just love him. He brings me great joy. But then sometimes your child, never a grandchild, but sometimes your children when they were younger would be screaming something over and over for 5 minutes, which probably doesn't actually bring you happiness. So there's a big difference between happiness depends on circumstances.
Okay.
Joy is an inner permanent feeling that you have about your children. So think about that. Very different things.
I will.
If that made sense.
Right.
So we need to look for our joy in everyday life. You may be having a bad day. You may be stuck in a ditch on the road in snow, and yet you still have the joy of, I have a child. I have people who love me. I have God's love in me. I still have joy in my life. I don't like my current circumstance.
But I can be content.
But I can be contented.
Right.
Because I have my inner joy. So keep your inner joy. Oh, I want to sing I have a joy, 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 joy down in my heart.
There you go.
But we'll
close out the show with that. Which reminds me, in case we have some new listeners, you play the piano music for our intro, which is so good. So she could sing. She could
can't really sing, but I can play.
But you are musical. Well, I think we've really thought about this, and I'm ready to celebrate Valentine's Day and show love and appreciation to you and my family and the people I love. Valentine's Day is coming.
Oh, Valentine's Day is coming.
Spring may be coming.
Do you do anything for Valentine's Day?
Very little, very, very.
Yeah, I want to say very little too, and perhaps we should, but it's on a Monday this year.
And we haven't been able to eat out really the last couple of years. We could, but I think I'm at least going to tell people I love them. I could do that.
We could do that.
That would be, and we love all our.
We could put hearts in our text. Probably should do more than that.
All right, well, it was good chatting about all that with you, and thank you. Like I said, we'll move on to some other maybe more springtime topics. Who knows what'll come in our minds for the next epi?
We have no idea.
But we just felt that need to think about how we can be our maybe best selves or contented selves, our best contented selves with you. All right, I've got something I thought you would like, Laura. I'm going to close with this.
Yes.
I also want to apologize to our listeners because there's some kind of snow moving thing going on outside, and you may hear beeps.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Snowplow, perhaps?
Right. That just happens here. iTunes. Top 100. Apparently they have a top 100 list of, I assume, songs that have been
And you still
downloaded.
do iTunes?
Not really.
None of our kids do anymore.
Oh, they don't do iTunes?
No, it's all Spotify, this, that.
Yeah.
I'm very old-fashioned, but go ahead.
So
iTunes.
maybe that explains some of this.
Oh.
Okay. Maybe what you just said explains some of this. Out of the top 100, 28 songs on the list are from the boomer generation. And maybe what you just said is true. It's not...
Interesting. The top 100 songs today...
that are being, I don't know, what do you do?
Downloaded or whatever.
Yeah. Are from the boomer generation. There are several from the Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, yeah, they were good.
Including Have You Ever Seen the Rain, which was
Have you ever seen the rain?
I knew you could sing.
Yes.
At number 17.
Wow, really?
What they thought was the strangest entry was, this was a one-off hit, and I know you want to sing this one. Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes. Love grows where my rosemary grows.
Yeah. And that was a one-hit wonder?
Yeah, it was a one-hit
That
wonder.
is still in the top 100?
Right now, yes.
It's us boomers using iTunes.
Also, it says also floating around the top 100 are the Police's Every Breath You Take.
That's always a goodie.
Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer.
Living on a prayer. Yeah.
Hey,
Wow. That's so interesting. The boomers have taken over the iTunes charts.
they have. Well, I'm going to say happy Valentine's Day. Happy good health and to you.
Have
Be
joy
content.
in your heart.
Thank you to Pat. We're always kind of asking her all these random things that come, and
We do.
but she really keeps us going. So thank you so much. She does a great job. If you follow her on Twitter, you can find she has interviews with many authors. They're wonderful to listen to.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
She's quite
She's
something.
kind of a good, better, best person.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Yeah. Well, I love you. Toodles.
Toodles.
Oh, okboomerpod.com.
Oh, yeah. We always forget to
Yeah,
say that. And
okay.
Instagram, see if I can put up another reel. I don't know.
Oh, let's check for Laura's reels on Instagram.
Yes.
All right.
All righty. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Toodaloo.
Be sure to come back to beautiful Ohio and the OK Boomer podcast. To listen to previous episodes or to drop us a line, visit okboomerpod.com.